8:35, an eye-opening look at the nation's growing mental health crisis in our young people. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, 1 in 5 children and adolescents have a diagnosable mental health disorder.
Gen Z is the first generation to grow up online, and they are feeling it.
We had to learn how to grow up in this different world of social media. We didn't have the rules passed down to us, and we're actually making the rules.
One thing we do agree on is checking this vital piece of technology, especially social media, can be harmful to teens' mental health. At least that's the latest research. In fact, a lot of social media companies are getting scrutinized.
For decades, there's been that Surgeon General's warning on packs of cigarettes. But this morning, for the first time, a new warning about something else: social media and what it means for kids' mental health. Why now for this advisory?
We're issuing this advisory to sound the alarm.
Mental health issues are at an all-time high in America, specifically in Generation Z. As digital natives, Gen Z is the first to be raised alongside the creation of social media. According to Pew Research Center, 95% have a smartphone, and almost half say they use social media every day. In fact, over half of Gen Z has at least 4 different social media apps on their phone. Comparably, as of a 2022 study done by the Walton Family Foundation, 42% of Gen Z struggle with depression and symptoms of depression. An even higher 61%, according to Harmony Healthcare IT, have been diagnosed with anxiety. Countless young people have reported social media to be the cause. These are undeniable parallels. Despite knowing this, mental health issues continue to be on the rise, with social media usage mirroring it. Although social media allows us to be more connected than ever before, it seems like there is an even greater feeling of disconnection.
Because there is such a greater opportunity for connection, we have that benefit to it, but then we have all the downsides. And really, social media doesn't replace physical, in-person connections. And I think that's why we feel like we're so well connected but disconnected at the same time, because we have this online connection, but we don't have as much of that physical, in-person connection. We see this over comparison with people that we see on social media, which drives mood quite a bit. And we see a lot more depressive thoughts, negative thoughts about oneself, which reduces self-esteem and can lead to, significant mental health concerns because there's this comparison that happens. The other thing we see is if people are just stuck in a negativity rut because they are scrolling and all they're seeing are very stressful or very negative things, which then can have an impact on their mental health as well.
Have you ever felt bored and decided to scroll online for a bit to find something interesting? It's no secret that social media sites are made to hook us, and in this generation, it hooks some earlier than others. More and more, children are exposed to the internet and social media at increasingly young ages, and it affects them deeply. Neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to change and adapt based on what we experience in our day-to-day lives, adapts quickly to the sticky web of the online world. We become addicted to checking our phones, crave every notification and the next post to scroll to, whether it be funny or upsetting. Our minds produce a happy, feel-good chemical from this that trains us into seeing social media as a habit rather than a hobby. Surprisingly, it's not just the good stuff we want. Doom scrolling is a relatively new term used to describe endlessly scrolling upsetting social media and news posts just to find one more post that'll make you happy again. Then, you can feel good enough to scroll again and repeat the process, an endless cycle.
So let's talk about doom scrolling. We'll see something that's upsetting and we'll continue to scroll, just one more post, just one more TikTok, one more to try to find something that will make us feel better. And it becomes this sort of endless cycle of doom scrolling, seeing something negative, trying to find something to make us feel better, and then continuing that cycle on and on. Doom scrolling and stress is what concerns me because just in general, college students have high levels of stress. So engaging in behaviors that make us feel more stressed is really not healthy. Excessive social media use is linked to higher rates of depression and anxiety symptoms, especially in young people. The other sort of emotional impact of social media is loneliness. So we see rates of loneliness going up as a function of social media use, especially when, and this is sort of a nuance that I don't think we always think about when we tend to use social media passively, so we're just kind of scrolling, that kind of use of social media is linked to higher rates of depression, anxiety, and loneliness symptoms.
In the past, paying attention to what threatens us and what makes us unhappy has been a critical part of survival. But in the age of social media, all it achieves is bad sleep, ruined focus, and constant worry. In the quest to feel in control and seek out content that makes us feel good, we only fall more victim to the few hungry algorithms. Young, growing people like Gen Z are especially at risk of these behaviors, as the brain still hasn't fully developed the impulse control, identity formation, and emotional regulation needed for healthier internet habits. They overuse social media, crave the validation of likes and comments, and easily feel rejected and pressured by the need or lack of perceived validation. All of this has shown that the quick, happy fix we get from social media can spiral into more harmful behaviors. We have begun to lose our ability to focus and think deeply and critically about what we see and read. We have shorter attention spans now that a dopamine hit is only a few swipes away.
We think because, we're gonna outsmart our brains, that we can multitask in that way, that we can read our textbook and look at our phones and still get the benefit of reading that textbook. But this is really a myth. Our brains are really not designed to multitask. Our brains are designed to do a task and then do the next task. So if we're switching back and forth between reading our textbook and checking our phones, we're actually promoting that shorter attention span even more.
Depression, stress, anxiety, loneliness, and self-loathing are all common side effects of this drug. For young people today, it isn't uncommon to get lost in an online world and take it as seriously as the world outside of their phone.
My name is Owen Purdue and I'm a history major.
My name is April McLaughlin. I am 22 years old and I'm an English professional writing major.
My name is Brody Hauer. I'm 18 and I'm a cybersecurity major.
So when I first got a smartphone, that was probably, I think I was 11, so then I got social media after that.
I've been using the internet for a lot of my life, so I would guess somewhere like older elementary school, so probably like 10 or 11, I would guess.
Being introduced to social media at such a young age, I was very impressionable, and I was still in elementary school. And I definitely think there were things on there that I was too young to be exposed to.
I actually don't use too much social media because of that, because I know there are so many like negatives to it. But I did have some before, and I kind of had to cut them out of my life because I saw a lot of stuff that was kind of, I guess, not distressing, but just very like, it did not impact my mental health in a good way. It was just very like negative, and I didn't really want to see that stuff, so.
When I see everybody else get a ton of followers and just the typical stigmata, like, it hurts whenever I don't get the same treatment.
The amount of time that we're on social media and technology can definitely, like, the more you're on it, the more it can impact your mental health and stuff. So I think if we're so like plugged in, I think as Gen Z often is, I think it could definitely like cause more negatives to build up over time.
It's definitely killed the attention span because I myself can't go 5 minutes without looking at my phone, scrolling through TikTok, Instagram.
We live in an era where we have, access to all of the world's information just like right in our hand. And I don't think that's something, past generations have had newspapers and TV and everything, but we get information so quickly, and I don't think our brains are kind of like evolved to handle that rapid fire of information.
As mental health awareness and awareness of social media's negative effects continue to grow, we need to look toward the future to practice healthier online habits. But what exactly can you as an individual do?
So for college students, it's really important that when we're doing our schoolwork, reading, writing papers, that the phones are nowhere near us, because we want to promote that deep work, at least periodically in our lives, right? We want the balance between the short and the deeper focus.
You can, set limits for yourself, or even just remember that people post either the best things or the worst things about everything that's going on right now. So I think it helps to keep perspective, kind of keep one foot in the real world, so to speak.
Just try to have fun posting the stuff that I do.
Like I've kind of utilized in the past, if something that I use on the internet is going to be too harmful or like too toxic for me, it's totally like cool to just cut it out, you know what I mean? Like if it's gonna help you in the end, that's what really matters.
Looking forward, when you have that all too common urge to pick up your phone and scroll for a bit, try to remember how it's affecting your mental state, and if there's something healthier that you can do for yourself. Thank you.